Hey and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before or seen any of my videos, I create content about personal finance, including budgeting, being debt-free, investing, and all-round good money management. I believe that your finances should be all about balance, hence the channel's oxymoron-like name, Frugal Spender. This meaning you should be intentional with your money, making sure you spend and enjoy your money, as well as cut back on unnecessary outgoings to maximize your money to invest for the future. If for some strange reason you've not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below and the bell icon to ensure that you're notified when I make future videos. The YouTube algorithm also loves it when people like videos, so if you do actually like this video, then, like it. Okay, so in this video I'm going to talk you through my current 4-step financial plan to becoming financially free or retire, whatever that actually means. My hope is that by walking you through what I'm doing and plan to do, it'll at least spark some thoughts and ideas that might help you with your financial life. I say this is my current financial plan because I know full well the plan's going to evolve, change, adapt and improve as I progress through my life and learn more about money and how to handle it. That being said, we need a plan to keep us on track, something to aim towards to be certain that we're at least heading in the right direction. If you watch my Vanguard portfolio updates, you will know that I'm as transparent as possible when it comes to money. If you haven't seen my portfolio updates, please go back and check them out. They'll give you a real insight into my investment journey. The reason I'm so transparent is because the truth is, so many people that talk about the stuff that I do are just outright deceiving you. They will make it seem as though they're in a much better financial situation than they actually are. And I think all that does is appear harder to achieve your financial goals because you're comparing yourself to something that just isn't real. It's essentially the Instagram culture of finances. So you might know that the reason I now talk about this money stuff is because I got myself into debt. As a result of getting into debt and feeling desperate and ashamed, I learned about money and how to manage it. By doing this, it gave me the tools to pay off the debt on a lowish income and begin investing my money into the stock market. By getting my finances in order in the present, it then allowed me to set my sights into the future to think about my financial freedom and retirement, which is something that investing and looking at pensions forces you to do. It ensures that you take a bird's eye view approach to your finances and not just think about next month's pay. So let's dive in. Here is what I am doing and plan to do, broken down into 4 steps. Firstly, and the step that I'm currently putting the most energy into, is increasing my income. More specifically, my household income. Now, I've always had a scarcity or lack mindset when it comes to money and earning. I used to always have an imaginary ceiling of my income and what I thought I could earn, or come to think of it, thought I actually deserved. I used to tell myself that I'll never be rich. I'm certainly not going to be somebody who can earn £100,000 salary. It just wasn't in the cards for me. The most recent data from the Office of National Statistics, as of 2020, the median household income in the UK is £29,900. Now, it's important to note that that is household, so would likely be higher if you have more than one income in the household. For me, I was happy being average. As long as I wasn't deemed poor, or what I thought was poor, I was happy. Or at least that's what I was telling myself. This average household income, realistically, isn't enough for me to reach my financial goals. Based on £29,900 a year, you can certainly build wealth over time, but to accelerate the process, you're gonna need more money to be generated. The golden rule in personal finance is spend less than you earn, and that rings true here. At first, you need to lower your spending and outgoings to ensure that the equilibrium is there, but for most people, you're going to need to focus on increasing your income. The more I've exposed myself to the literature and knowledge around personal finance, money management and investing, I've flipped my beliefs about earning money on their head. I really do now believe it's possible for me to have a 6-figure income. To clarify, I am not there yet, but the fact is that I think it's possible makes it much more likely to happen than just dismissing it as a fantasy. So how do I plan on doing it? Well, the job that I currently work in is in the public sector. My pay is capped, so it's just not movable unless I move up the ladder. Something that within my day job just doesn't excite me. Even if I were to move 3 steps up, I still wouldn't be anywhere near the 6-figure salary mark. So, I need to look elsewhere. Now that brings me to my fiance, my partner, the person I'm marrying next year. She currently runs 2 businesses, so the goal is to help those businesses grow, and that will have a direct impact on the household income. If there's one thing that I've come to learn, is the only real way to have no limit to your income is to be self-employed. Whatever that looks like for you, you need to have a degree of control about how much money comes into your bank. Just grinding day in, day out for a salary can certainly give you a good income, and you can build wealth. But the truth is, the company's interest will always be the bottom line, their profits. I intend on growing this channel and Frugal Spender as a brand, and as a result of that, revenue will be generated, and that can be used to boost our income. This, combined with helping my fiance with her business that I can add value to, will really step up the income that we get in our household. So running alongside increasing my income, I'm going to be loading up my investments with as much as I can afford whilst still enjoying life at the same time. I didn't start investing until I was 30, which luckily gives me some time to allow compound growth to work its magic, but I can't help but wish I started younger. As a result of that, I feel like I have some catching up to do, and as a household we are throwing as much money as we can into the following accounts. So, stocks and shares ISA, times 2, because there's one for me and one for my fiance. Then there's a SIP, or a self-invested personal pension, again times 2. Then we have a junior stocks and shares ISA for my daughter, who is now 8. And finally, a workplace pension. And for me, it's a defined benefit pension, which is one of the perks of working in the public sector job that I'm currently in. So let's take a deeper look at each one. So both my partner and I hold stocks and shares ISAs within the Vanguard platform, which I'm going to load as much as possible to get the benefit of tax-free growth, the ease of access, and the tax-free benefits when withdrawing. I look at this account as the one that I'm going to withdraw from first, so I'm ensuring that I put a good amount into it to allow for it to grow as much as possible in the given time frame that I have. I plan to start withdrawing from my ISA no earlier than age 50, which gives me currently 18 years for money to compound. So like I said, we both use the Vanguard platform for our stocks and shares ISA, and we both invest in the Life Strategy funds. I invest in the Life Strategy 100 and my partner invests in the Life Strategy 80. Now she's gone slightly lower in the equities because she has a slightly lower risk tolerance. Personally, I would prefer she was in the 100, but whatever gets her investing is the best option. And you can follow the link above for a video that I made for a more detailed look at the Vanguard Life Strategy funds. So with our SIPs, our self-invested personal pensions, we're getting the advantage of tax relief. Just by putting money into this account, the government will give you free money. Yes, free money. Now that's not something that you get very often. So if you're a standard rate taxpayer, you will get a 20% bonus added to the account. If you're a higher rate taxpayer, you get 40%, and as an additional rate taxpayer, you get 45%. You can see how the more you earn, the more this option becomes more and more attractive. The beauty of pensions is that you get all the extra money added to the account that allows it to grow and compound quicker than it otherwise would. Yes, you do get taxed on the way out, but still, most of the time, you come out with more money by putting the same amount into a pension versus an ISA. The difference is access. You can't currently access the money within your SIP until age 55, and this age is likely to increase the closer you get. Pete Matthew from The Meaningful Money did a great breakdown of how you almost always come out on top by putting the same amount of money into a pension versus an ISA. And I'll put the link to that video in the description box below, and I think you should really check it out. So another account that I invest into isn't even for me. This is a junior stocks and shares ISA for my daughter. This account is often less talked about, but if you have children, I would certainly urge you to take a look at it. It's the same as a stocks and shares ISA that you and I would have, except it's in your child's name. You choose how the money's invested, and at age 18, the account becomes solely your child's, and they decide what they do with their money. Now I know what you're thinking. An 18-year-old doesn't often know what to do with money, let alone a large sum of money, hopefully, or money that can hopefully give them a kickstart in life. So my partner and I decided to invest for my daughter's future in this way, because up until age 18, I am and I will continue to teach my daughter about money and how to handle it. This is something that I wasn't taught by my parents, so I'm making a real point of making sure it's a focus in my relationship with my daughter. By doing this so young, knowing how to spend, save, invest and give money will be natural to her throughout the rest of her adult life. The part of money that grows in this account will help her with buying a car or a deposit for a house. Things that I want to contribute to financially, so I'm going to do this over time, harnessing the power of the stock market to do it, rather than my daughter reaching those milestones and me panicking because I don't have the money to help. And the final account is my defined benefit pension through my day job. A defined benefit pension differs from what most people have, a defined contribution pension. A defined contribution pension is a pot of money that you would build up over time with money that you've added alongside your employer or money in the form of tax relief from the government. And then at retirement, you would withdraw from this pot, making it reduce in value over time. Now this differs from a defined benefit pension because you don't have a pot, you have a salary guaranteed until you die that usually increases in line with inflation. So I have very little control over this account, and I'm going to continue to pay the 15% pre-tax salary sacrifice required for me to get a decent income in retirement. I feel lucky to have this really, even though I'm paying quite a lot of money. Having a guaranteed income for life upon retirement is something that I can really work around for my retirement plans. It's important to know here that all of these accounts are completely automated. This means that I've set up a payment into each of them to come out just after payday every single month. Once I've set it up, I don't have to think about it anymore. The only time I do is because I'm increasing the amount because my income's increased. If you want to check out my video on how and why you need to automate your finances, follow the link above. So the next step for me would be to focus on building passive income. Income that doesn't require me to exchange my time for money. This will give me different revenue streams so that I'm more financially secure and to ensure that I will never have to rely on just one income. So I'll give you some ideas of the passive income sources that I plan to grow in the future. So firstly, ad revenue or products or services. So mainly through my website or here on YouTube, I'll continue to make content, but I plan to provide informative products and services that I can just do once and I continue to make a revenue from. This would include things like courses or books. I then plan to make money via dividends. So this is income from investments that I've already made within the stock market, within companies that pay you a quarterly dividend, let's say. And then finally, rental property. So this one is definitely for the long term and not the short term. But both my partner and I would like to have some sort of short-term rental property investment. Over time, I know that I will most likely add or change the list that I've given you there. I'll probably take one away too, but I'm going to continue to aim towards having multiple passive income sources. So I already have more than one income source as a result of the content that I put out there, albeit not passive, but the peace of mind that I'm getting from having more than one income source really is invaluable. The fourth part of the plan is a staggered retirement. Now, I don't know what retirement will mean for me, but I'm 32 and I hope that I've got plenty more working years left in me. I think though it's important to have some sort of rough outline of what it's going to look like. So I plan to take some sort of staggered retirement approach, drawing money from different areas as time goes on. So as it stands, this is how I plan to do it. So I plan to start withdrawing my money from my stocks and shares ISA from around about age 50, whilst continuing to invest aggressively. I will likely still have an income from either a business or a passive income source, but I'll be able to withdraw so that I can have a better life and, top it up when I need to. Then at age 57, I'll be able to start withdrawing from my SIP, my self-invested personal pension. The age is currently 57, but who knows? As life expectancy increases, this number continues to rise. I think I'm probably going to take the 25% tax-free lump sum that you get when you can access your pension and enjoy it, or potentially add it towards a rental property. Who knows? It's miles away. And then I can use the money from my pension and my ISA to be as tax efficient as possible to give myself an income. So from age 60, I will then have access to my defined benefit pension. And like I said earlier, that will give me a salary for the rest of my life until I die. And this will be kind of my main income source. And from my ISA, my pension will supplement this. The great thing, like I said, about this income for me will be that it rises with inflation every single year. And then looking way into the future at age 68, the current age, I'll begin withdrawing my state pension. So the scary thing is that's 18 years after I start withdrawing at age 50, which come to think of it is the same length of time as where I am now until I reach 50. Now I'm not going to rely on the state pension being there, but if I do get it, then it's just going to be the icing on the cake. And that's it. That's the summary of my financial freedom plan. There's more to it and I'll continue to make more videos about this, but I wanted to give you an outline or a summary of what I'm currently thinking to do. It certainly isn't as aggressive as many people within the FIRE community would like or plan themselves, but it's mine and it fits around my life and my wants and needs. The beauty of personal finance is that it really is personal. You can choose bits from different areas in personal finance and make your own mould for the future. As you can see, I've taken principles and used them in my own way to plan how I'd like to retire and be financially free. So have a think about your plan. How are you going to structure your money in the future? And let me know in the comment section below. You may already even be there, and if you are, please tell me. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you got something out of it. And if you did, please hit the like button. It helps me get my message out there, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel to receive future content.